This conference will now be recorded.
Hello. Hi. Am I audible?
Yes.
Hi. Good morning and good evening. My name is Ram. So I will be the Salesforce instructor for today. So I'll help you to understand the basics of Salesforce. Pretty basics. I'll just try to give you an idea of what Salesforce is and what are we going to discuss in future and all. And coming to my experience, I've been around 14 years of experience, but from past 8 years I'm into Salesforce trainings as well. But yeah, I've been working as a solution architect in Salesforce with a team of around 48 members in the current organization that I'm working for. And I do train people in Salesforce, specifically on Salesforce admin, development, integrations, Lightning Web Components, of course, CPQ, Marketing Cloud, Einstein Analytics, almost all the areas of Salesforce. Yeah. Um, what are you? Is there anyone who is aware of any of the IT languages in today's session? Anyone?
So IT languages in the sense tools you're speaking about.
Yeah, anything, maybe Java or HTML, CSS, SOCL, anything for that matter.
I'm into a complete IT module, but not onto the software tools.
Okay,
I have some experience in Java, HTML, and XML like that. I'm working as a test lead like that.
great. Anyone else?
Yeah, hi. I don't have much experience in IT.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm into HR administrative side.
okay. See, it's completely fine. I just asked you this question so that I'll also understand like what are the different people that we have in the session, so that it'll be easy for me to cover up the right topics for you people. Yeah,
Okay.
just give me a minute. Let me share my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah,
Yes, we
yeah.
can.
Okay. I'll straight away jump into the application level. Can someone tell me what is the need of building an application? Why do we need to build an application?
To make users' life easy.
Great. Any other answers? Okay. Yeah. So that's one of the simple and best answers that we can like. The use of an application is like to make our life more easier, right? Now, if I ask the same thing for a person who built the application, then that's his bread and butter, right? So, because the more number of users using that application, whatever it could be, like the more amount of revenue that will be generated for his organization where it can feed them, right? Now, how these applications are built, so the market looking at the problem statement. So I'll come up with some idea. That is where the initiator that comes to build the application. Correct. So unless until I see that okay, people are struggling a lot in booking a flight ticket by traveling to the airport, standing in a queue, unless until someone realize that okay, why can't we do this through an app? I don't think you got the today we are using the seamless applications like, yeah, in Amazon you can book it. You have Make My Trip, Wire.com, multiple websites, right? All these applications came into the market just because some XYZ person have seen that Sneha is standing in the line, like maybe other customers, right? So by giving some application into their hands, it'll ease more their jobs, right? Like they will book a ticket so that for every booking I will be getting some revenue. So that's what it is. But how these applications are built, it needs certain environment, right? It's not that okay, I sit at my desk and I'll build it blindly. So I need a system, right? And it should be hosted in some software, sorry, in some server, and I need some software to build that application. And when I'm building it, it's not that every user can do anything and everything, right? You will have certain stages, like I have to define the user access, right? And maybe especially about security, if you are going using any payment gateways, all this has to be taken care, correct? And just to do this setup itself, it will take around a year if you are using any legacy technologies, like other than cloud, right? So what is the other disadvantage in using this? So let's say as we have to go use some server, so server comes up with some hard limitations like number of users, amount of data that you can store, all this. So based on the number of people that who are accessing your application, I might have to change the limit. Sometimes I might get huge volumes of demand where I have to increase the server. Sometimes, like let's say if it is the first time in the market, if the tool is the first coming for the first time in the market, yes, too many people will be using it. But what if I start getting some competitors? I have to reduce the price, else I'll lose the customers. So that time there is a high chance that I'll be losing some customers as well because of different offers or services that the competitors are providing, right? That time I can't reduce my server size, the capacity, because it's a hard limit. It has increased already, right? But still, the amount that I have to spend in managing this or in maintaining this will not change, right? So that is reducing my ROI. Yeah. To avoid all this, especially security, because as it is my in-house server, so high chances that I will be I'll get hacked as well, right? So to avoid all this, we have something called cloud computing. So where in which, so the previous one is like on-premise where we build the applications using C, C++, where you have to refine all your resources. But when it comes to cloud, so we have three different services. But Ram, what is cloud? So you will have some service provider sitting some in some ABC location, and you can access their servers sitting in XYZ place, right? Start using it. How? So that's where they'll use the internet connection basically, right? It's like, for example, if you go with infrastructure as a service, which is the first service, so you can see Amazon Web Services. So in Amazon Web Services, it is like halfway through. Like they'll give you, so basically they will buy the server, they will maintain everything, right? And you have to go to the servers, buy some space in it, or take it for rent and start utilizing it. That's it. So all these features like virtualizations, because that it's a cloud, and the server space, storage, number of users, networking, all these things will be taken care by the service providers. Whereas if it is an infrastructure as a service, like from subscriber side, we have to maintain something like, for example, the operating systems that we need. or the middleware for integrating with the external system, or the runtime issues. Everything we have to take care. Then we have something else called platform as a service. This is where the first footprint of Salesforce comes in, which is force.com platform. Here you will have everything, which means you don't need to log into you don't need a software to access your system. So it's like this. I'll log in. I'll just go to login.salesforce.com. I'll pick my username. Just click on login. It will allow me to log in and I start building my application. That's it. Right? As easy as it. So I don't need a software for it. I just need a basic laptop or a basic system with a very basic internet connection. That should be good enough for me. But when you go with any other technologies, so the main issue is with the software that you have to install in your machines, right? So the moment I have to install, for example, the best example is SAP. If I want to install SAP, I need a bare minimum of 500 GB space in my system. But if I'm accessing everything through browser, it will be much more easier, right? And next comes is your software as a service. This is where you will get everything. For example, the best example is your Facebook, right? You are accessing Facebook as a service, right? Facebook is a software. It has been given access to you as a service through internet, right? And Salesforce has a wide demand in SaaS. Reason is, by default, whenever we are buying a license from Salesforce, if you are buying a Salesforce license, by the way, so along with the license, we will get some standard applications which are defined at the market standards. What are they? The sales, service, marketing, all this. But why sales, service, and all? Because Salesforce is a CRM tool. By the way, what is CRM? Anyone? Anyone? Am I audible? Hope I am.
Customer related information management.
Okay. What is it? What is it? Is that a technology or an application?
It has all the customer related information like any service requests or contacts.
Okay. But what is it? Is it a technology or an application or anything else?
It is used to maintain the customer related information. That's what I understand.
Okay. So which means you are saying it's a database,
Yeah,
right?
kind of. Yeah.
Okay. Any other answers? Anyone? Okay. CRM is not a database, not an application, nor even a tool. It's just a process which tells me how do I maintain a healthy relations with my customers. Right? It's just customer relationship management, which means uh, best example. Let's say Sneha bought a car, and in the showroom they promised her maybe 4 services or 5 services for free of cost. And so maybe after a quarter, uh, she understood. Okay, she thought like, okay, let us give it for a service. When they are doing that, they said, no ma'am, we are quite occupied now, so come after a week. Okay, she went after a week. They're simply postponing it. And in the same time, let's say Gautam bought a car in a different showroom, who is neighbor of Sneha. The moment they promised, they said like the moment Gautam went there, they provided the service. Now Aditya, who's a common friend of Sneha and Gautam, thought of buying a car. Now, where does Aditya well buy the car? Is that from the showroom that Sneha bought the car or from the Gautam's car showroom? definitely with the place where Gotham bought the car, right? Because they are providing the right service. Simple. So when they are doing it, so even if I have n number of customers, I have to prioritize each and every one. And there is a high chance that I might forget also. CRM is the process which tells me when should I interact with my customers, how fast should I process my request. What if the records, or if the service requests were not attended properly or not completed on time, how do we escalate them? All these processes will be defined in CRM, and Salesforce is a strict CRM too. Okay, these are some of the examples which you don't need. Yeah. So yeah, so this is quite good example where Salesforce covers the 360 degrees of a customer. So that's why we call it as Salesforce Customer 360, where you want to sell your products. Yes, you do have market standard sales application. Service, same. We do have standard service application, which comes for no, free of cost along with the license that you are buying. Marketing, we do have. Commerce, you can build your own commerce portal like the way you have your Amazon or Flipkart or any websites. But Ram, every application that you are speaking about, you're saying that it's a market standard. What is this market standard? For example, let's say I have a small vegetable store, or let's say I have a very big vegetable store, right? Maybe biggest in, I'm from Bangalore, by the way, so biggest in the Bangalore. And one of my friends is having another car showroom, let's say one of the biggest showrooms in Bangalore. Both of us are selling the products to the customers, right? But does the sales process of mine and my friends will be the same? Will it be the same? Definitely not, right? For his showroom, he have to learn a lot of advertisements, right? Have to give a lot of offers, right? Because it's a bit of luxury item. Of course, today it's a must. But when it comes to me, who is running a grocery store, even though if it is biggest in in Bangalore, I don't have to post lots of ads in there, right? So I won't get any inquiries. People like Gotham and all, they'll just come, see, pick whichever the product that they want, they'll buy it off. It's not the same with my friend, right? Even if Gotham goes there, he won't buy the car in the first look, right? In the first visit itself. So he will start comparing the prices with the other showrooms that is there in the markets, right? Other industries and maybe other competitors in the market, and he'll see, look at the services, of course, the quality. Finally, he'll take a decision. That will take a longer time. Of course, my friend might get huge margins as well. That's a different case. But the process is different, right? So standard sales process is like whenever you are getting an inquiry, how you are speaking with them, how you are assigning a sales agent, how you are negotiating the deals, how you are making that inquiry into a customer, how many products you are selling them, how much revenue you are generating during this activity. I mean, during this process, what all the activities the person performed, all these things will be controlled in sales application, right? Similarly, service. And now Aditya says, yeah, I don't have a sales process or service process. I don't do any marketing. I need some application, maybe a leave tracker, right? I want to so my organization is big. I have around 50,000 employees in the organization. I don't have a specific tool to build a leave tracker system, right? So how do I do it? Salesforce will say you can build your own application as well. These are the standard applications that are giving you for free of cost. If you say that no, these are not something that I'm looking for, it says that you can build your own application. Then Sneha says, no, actually, I will do the sales process, but my brand is well known in the market. For example, Rolls Royce. So Sneha is the owner of Rolls Royce. She don't have to go and do the advertisements. She don't have to do any marketing. People will run behind her to buy her cars, right? But she still needs some sales process. It's not actually defined as per the market that is there. Now Salesforce says, yes, use this, but you can tweak it according to your requirement. 30%, 40%, 50% is up to you. Finally, Gotham says, okay, I have lots and lots of data. I've been using Salesforce for quite some time. Now I want to do a proper analysis. That's where you can use instant analytics in the system. Now there is a customer called Akshay. He says, yes, I have Salesforce. I've been using Salesforce for quite some time. But at the same time, I have a similar data in SAP. I want Salesforce and SAP to get communicated in the real time. That is where we need integration. Salesforce bought a beautiful tool called MuleSoft quite some time around 2007, 19, if I'm not wrong, 19, 18 or 19 for $750 million. So this is one of the perfect tool which fits for any integration in the market. And this comes along with the price, of course, but yes, it helps you to connect with any system that is available in the market. And finally, similar to your Google Docs, we do have employee experience, which is called as Quip. I'll tell you how it works when we go through the deeper concepts. And then, one of the biggest reasons of being successful in the market from almost 2 decades, not 2 decades, three, 1999 is when Salesforce started, is that Salesforce will upgrade thrice in a year: summer, winter, and spring. During these upgrades, let's say if Ram says that, okay, in during the approval process, I'm facing some difficulties in the in approving some bulk records. I want some feature. Now Salesforce will poll it. It will start asking for votes. Anyone who is working in Salesforce can vote on it. It doesn't matter whether you are from Cognizant, it doesn't matter whether you're from IBM, Wipro, CTS, in any company for that matter. The moment you own that idea, because everyone can log into Salesforce Success Community, the moment you own that idea and the number of votes are getting increased, Salesforce by default will say that yes, we will work through it, and they'll come back with a solution in next releases. At the same time, they will also have a lot of pipeline items that are available where they are thinking of upgrading. So every release, they will do an upgrade, and you don't have any downtime for upgrading those machines. Right? It will be taken care automatically. You don't have to schedule them. You don't have to wait for downtime. You don't have to inform the system that your end user saying that okay, tomorrow there will be an upgrade. Please don't use it. Nothing like that. And that is one reason it's been used widely in many industries. It's been there in banking, financial, pharmacy. Yeah, it's been used in lot many industries, including education, and even smaller organizations as well. If anyone of you are aware of Redbus in India, so they are using Salesforce. Of course, Paytm, backend of Paytm is Salesforce itself. Citigroup, which is there as one of the biggest financial sectors in US, they are using Salesforce. I'm not just speaking about just Citibank, Citigroup, and one of the banks in India, IDFC, their entire customer registration portal is using Salesforce. And bigger industries like British Petroleum, oil and gas, they are using Salesforce, right? So why you are speaking more about the Salesforce, more about the customers? Because the moment the tool has been used widely in many organizations, it will generate a lot of employments as well, right? And we do have two things: one is partner community, and the other one is success community. Who are been called as Salesforce partners? All the service-based industries uh, like IBM, Wipro, CTS, or uh, you do have a lot of other companies like Atmos, Popcorn Apps. All these are organizations who will work for their clients in resolving some solutions. And if they are using Salesforce, they'll be considered as partners. And you will have a different community called partner community where only employees can access, not Salesforce employees, any other organization, and they can share their ideas as well. Success community is where everyone can get the access, including you people. Wherein which this is one place where it will help you to connect all the trailblazers. You can post your question, get the answers within short time as well, right? And yeah, this is all about your Salesforce Customer 360, and you do have a lot of platforms like Einstein, blockchain communities, builders, close it up. We'll discuss about them. And what kind of architecture Salesforce uses? We use multi-tenant architecture. Okay, but why are you showing an apartment? It's the same, right? So let's say if I want a product, for example, let's say if I have a villa or an individual house for that matter, and I need a badminton court. So for that, I have to invest a lot where I have to buy a land, sort it out, and get the poles, buy the net, all this, which will cost me around maybe 100 grand or more than that, depends on the place. But if I am staying in an apartment, I just have to pay some minimal amount, of course, but the load will be shared with all folks which are my neighbors, right? So that's the best place. But the problem here, I won't say it's a problem, but yeah, everything will have a limitation, right? For example, if I'm buying a flat in an apartment, I will be getting this dedicated space. As I have a flat in the apartment, I can't simply go and sleep in this, right? I can't use someone else's flat. I have to use my own, right? Similarly, we do have some limitations in Salesforce. So if you consider the spaces as an apartment place, let's say IBM will stay here, CTS might be using it here, and maybe Infosys might be using their applications here. So making sure that no org is crashing with others, we do have limitations, then we call them as governor limits. Each and every feature that we are going to discuss in future, we will discuss about the governor limits as well. And I'll tell you how to, uh, not how to avoid, I would say how to maintain, what are the best practices we can manage, we can follow so that we won't even come across those limitations. Yeah. And yes, so no applications required, no servers to be installed, no softwares required. You get an idea, you buy a Salesforce license, start building the application. So the beauty of Salesforce is it will support all the gadgets. It could be your tab, monitor, I mean laptop or desktop, or even your mobile as well. And this basically reduces a lot of time and effort as well. And the best part is you don't have to go with high-end configurations. So especially this is a biggest advantage and one of the biggest reasons where a lot of business is using Salesforce. And after using Salesforce, most of the organization made clearly stated that each and every one of them has been seeing 40% growth in their profits after using Salesforce. Right? And a lot of automations, out of box features are suggested by Salesforce. Yeah. And yeah, he is the CEO of Salesforce. So one of the important point that he'll always stretch is about trust, because till now we discussed about speed, ease of using, adaptability, and all. How about trust? So trust is like, for example, these days, if you observe, if you want to log into your Twitter accounts or LinkedIn from a new machine, it basically asks you for a verification code, which will be sent to your registered mail ID or maybe a phone number. Right? And it's been there in Salesforce since 2007. And this security been implemented by Google and all around 4 5 years back, not more than that. But in Salesforce, it's there since 2007. So forget about hacking your data. I can't even access your system without giving that personal security questions. And of course, if I want to export the data or hack the data that is available in your organization, I have to use some tools which needs a security token which will be generated dynamically by your machine with 18 character combinations. And that's impossible. Until date, there is no news where Salesforce have had a data breach. Okay, one common question that I ask looking at this slide: who is not using smartphone? Of course, a stupid question, right? Who is using smartphones? It could be Android or Apple or an iPhone. So, yes, all of us. So, why do we need? For better use, right? For example, let's say if I want to speak with Gautam, if I want to message him. Earlier days, we have to use the text messages. Now I can make a video call through WhatsApp. So if I'm one of the best developers in the world who can build any mobile application, it doesn't mean that for each of my friends I'll build one application if I want to communicate, right? I don't even build anything because WhatsApp is free of cost. But how this WhatsApp is been used by anyone? So you basically go to Play Store or App Store where you will install that application. Right? But what is this concept called App Store? A place, a marketplace where anyone who have a better idea can upload their application so that anyone who wants that can download it and install and use it. Right? And this idea actually came up from Apple, right, with a name called App Store. And Google came up with Play Store later, after a long time. And App Store is something which is an idea came from who is the next CEO of Apple, Steve Jobs. Right? And you know what? The idea belongs to this fellow. Even the domain. You post a session, you can search App Store plus Mark Benioff, you will get the news. Right? He, as Steve Jobs is one of his good friends, he have given the App Store domain with for free, or he basically gifted it to him, and he came up with a word called App Exchange in Salesforce. Similar to your App Store or Play Store in your Google or in Androids or Apple phones, we have App Exchange for Salesforce. So, what should I have, or what are the prerequisites for this? For example, if I want to use Play Store, I should be a Google user or a Gmail user. If I want to use App Store, I must be an Apple user. Or similarly, if you want to use App Exchange, you should be a Salesforce user. Very simple. But here, each and every customer pays money every year to Salesforce as a part of license. That is where before you upload your applications into the marketplace, they will have a proper scrutiny team which will verify each and every layer of your system, of your application. And this also means if you have a better ideas that is available in the market, you can build an application. It's not that you have to get a job in Salesforce. There are organizations who are running their entire staff just because of one or two applications. For example, Conga Composer basically helps me to define a PDF page from the records. Or there is one called DocuSign for digital signatures. These are the organizations where they'll work only on one idea and they are happily surviving because they have huge customers, right? And numbers are little old. You can consider triple numbers. But this is one of the good slides that I have, so I just kept it in this presentation. But yeah, numbers are already triple. This is actually waste. I'll just remove it later. This is how Salesforce have grown up, and it started in '99. And yes, as of now, I would say it's a $13.5 billion company. It already crossed this number, by the way. And but why this shitstorm? Because if you see here, the growth of the organization, Salesforce, of course, the technology for us is on the higher side always. This also means that the number of customers who are using Salesforce has also increased. For example, I started my career in 2010, right? By then, I mean, even if Salesforce came a decade back, which is 1999, no one is aware of Salesforce. And by the way, I'm from a small village where people used to ask me, okay, what is the job that you're doing? When I say software, they'll say, okay, what is in software? She says Salesforce. I'm a Salesforce developer. They thought like I'm a person who will do a sales job. So go go to door and sell some products because no one is aware of it, including the people who are in IT. But now, if you say that you are a Salesforce developer or an architect, any role for that matter in Salesforce, right? So people feel yes, he is the one who is hot in the market. This is the technology. Why? Because this numbers. So if the numbers are growing, which means they are increasing the customers. If the customers are increasing, then the demand of their requirements also will get increased, which will actually create a lot of demand for us, which is developers. Okay. Any questions till now? Is the session too bored?
No problem.
No.
As a part of this session, we'll have two things. One is admin, and the other one is development, right? Uh, so if you see the prerequisites, for example, admin, if you know the basic Excel sheets, like if you know how to create an Excel sheet, if you know how to create a table in Excel sheet, that is enough. Rest all I'll be taking care. And when I speak about admin in Salesforce, the definition of admin is quite different when you compare with any other technology, for that matter. When I say, let's say, Ram is an admin, if you go with any other technology, he'll look only after security. But in Salesforce, he is the person who can build the application as well. Of course, without writing a code, it's all configuration. We call it as point and clicks. So with a point and clicks, Ram can build an application, build the tables, define the securities, of course, and he can even write the automations. What kind of automations? For example, if you go to a bank, and if I have, or if I open, let's say if I am transferring around maybe $1,000 to my friend, so after completing the transfer, I will get a notification saying that this is what you have been transferred. Or let's say if my friend have transferred maybe some same $1,000 again, so I'll be getting a notification. Such no automations, or let's say any approval processes, like let's say for the leave tracker example that we were speaking about earlier, right? All those skins can be built in Salesforce without writing a single line of code. And this doesn't need any development knowledge. If you are able to think logically, that should be enough. Okay. And yes, other than India, huge demand on admin as well. Yeah. So, and these are the main concepts that I'm gonna discuss about. And it takes around 20 hours, which is, I would say 20 hours. I'm not speaking about the number of sessions and all because it depends. And post the sessions, you can immediately go for an admin certification, which will cost you around $200. And I'll see if I can give you any certification vouchers for it, which gives you some discount, not full free. It depends. Then we'll go with the development. Okay, Ram, if you can do anything and everything using admin, then why development? Yes, we can build a lot of things in admin, but it will have some limitations, especially on the user interface or the complexity on the logics that you are going with, right? That is where we will go with development. And for development, you must have the admin knowledge completely. Plus, if you have basic knowledge on object oriented programming, Java, it will be like a cakewalk for you. Suppose that when you go with the UI components, good to have a high level understanding on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I'm saying high level understanding. Yeah, you don't know to be too much deep. Those basics and introductions I will give you, but you have to spend maybe 10-15 minutes more than what others are spending for the practice. Okay. So, was that during this we will discuss about the integrations as well, and after the development, you can go with the certification. So you can pick either of this, but if you are going for development, then you must have admin knowledge. Reason is admin is all configurations, and whenever you get a requirement, you should see why. I mean, if this can be resolved in configuration. If that is not possible, that is the only point that we have to think about going with the development. Why? Because it is the maintenance fee, or the maintenance of admin is pretty much easier when you go with the development. The release process of development will be little complicated compared to admin. Yeah, that's all about your code content. And of course, even in the development also, it will take around 20 hours. That's all I have. Any questions, anyone? So few questions that I commonly listen in most of the batches. It's been almost 3,000 odd people have trained till date. Is Ram? I think one of you also told me that okay, I'm not from IT. I'm from some marketing process. So is that good to learn Salesforce? Yes, it is. If you're really interested, I'm not trying to impose that Salesforce is the only good thing, good technology in the market. We do have, but yeah, Salesforce is good on its own. Now, what if I don't learn development? Fine, you still have jobs in admin. You can be a tester as well, which also needs admin knowledge. You can be a BA, which needs admin knowledge full. Plus, if you understand the development, it's not that you have to write the coding, but you should understand the concepts of development. So these are some of the critical roles that are available in the market. It could be admin, development, BAs, or testers, and of course solution architects as well, right? And what else? Anything other than these? Yes, we do have multiple other roles like CPQ specialist. We do have Einstein analytics specialist, and we do have marketing clouds people as well. But of course, these demos are for admin and development. But yeah, any other questions? Anyone?
Yeah, Ram.
Yeah, got it.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, Ram.
Yeah.
So integration and lightning is different part from the admin and development.
Ideally, yes, but I'll be covering them in the development itself.
Okay. Okay. So integration in the sense, whatever the applications we develop using the Salesforce, so we will integrate them with the other apps or like that.
Not other applications, like other tools, right? So I'll give
Okay.
you
Okay.
we'll discuss about the patterns that we do in Salesforce. And in this, like, as we cannot connect other systems like SAP and all, I will show you the same the process that we use, and we will connect with other Salesforce orgs. Like, we can create some sale. I mean, for the environment, you will be creating Salesforce orgs on your own as well. I'll show you how to do it. So we will see how do we transfer the data between one Salesforce org to other Salesforce org. It's the same
Oh,
thing.
okay.
See, you just
Yeah, yeah,
basically
got it.
need to connect two different systems and transfer the data through the I mean, through the transactions and all, right? So those things we'll do.
Yeah, 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 got it, got it. Yeah, okay. Actually, I used to work for the Nest.
Okay.
I used to work for in the BPO sector. So in that when the process was Nest, we used to use the Salesforce tool.
Okay.
Later, Nest was acquired by the Google, and they came up with their own tool like Connect Cases.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
so
you
that's
basically
how.
you were an end user of Salesforce earlier. Now you
Yeah,
want to
yeah, yeah,
be. Okay.
yeah. That's how I come to know about this Salesforce, and that's why I wanted to learn this.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Anyone?
Ram, one question.
Yeah.
So, for the development, do we need to have any coding or coding background?
Good to have, as I said. If you have it, it will be very easier. If not, you have to spend some a little more time when compared to others to understand.
Okay.
I mean, I can guarantee you that you will leave this. I mean, each and every session will be very much clear to you, but
Mhm.
when it goes to development, you have to practice as well, right? Like, so
Yeah.
that's where you have to spend some extra time.
Okay. Got it.
And for admin, if you ask me, I want you to spend at least 10 to 15 minutes a day. That should be good enough. But every day, when it comes to development, yep, it is up to you. Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
Any other questions regarding the session timings and all? The consultancy will discuss with you. Okay, that's all I have. Then, yeah, thanks for joining. I'll ask the consultancy to. I think they will connect with you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.